What's up, people? It's another episode of NY Giants Rush, and I can't wait to start this show because you know what today is. Dudes are lifting weights, like they're cranking out like meetings like crazy because the Giants are back in town, folks. And as promised, I got big boy Jack Anderson in the house. He's gonna hang out with us for a little bit. We're gonna talk some. First of all, my man grew up in Dallas, Texas, I should say, Plano, Texas. So we're gonna check in on what Jack's been up to, and let's bring in the crew. Again, of course, you guys know Astroflave is a humongous sponsor of ours. Make sure they sponsor us, they support us, you guys support us, support each other. We're a big old family. But thank you for tuning in to another episode. You know, of course, we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Pods, we are on Amazon Music, Stitcher, Google Play. We're there for you guys. So download it, upload it, share it. Boom. Let's bring in the team. Here's Six. What's up?
Hi guys.
What's happening?
Not much.
So Jack's here.
Yeah,
Jack's here, and I'm gonna bring him in a minute. And I got Chris. Bow.
Yay.
Hey, Nikki. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Craig.
Wait, hey, Nikki. It's hey, Craig first. No,
well, ladies first, right? Come on.
Exactly.
Right, fine. Let's bring in Jack. I know you guys are only here to hang out with Jack, so let's bring in Jack. We met Jack at the Nick Gates camp a couple weeks ago. Dude was getting busy with the kids, so let's bring in Jack. Jack.
Yo, what up?
What's happening? All right, so here's my first question. Got to know right away. You're at the Gates camp. Did any of those kids give you a run for your money? Like they were moving some of those kids.
Yeah, no, those kids were getting after it. We had a couple stations where it's like a receiver, DB station, O-line, D-line. So, yeah, we're getting a little bit of everything. I was trying to keep up with those kids. I was playing a little O-line. They were playing some D-line. So there's some moves out there now. There's some kids out there that are going to make some noise now. It's great to be around them and just watch them compete.
Was there any Jack Andersons maybe in the future? Did you see anyone out there that maybe, could play some ball?
Yeah, there was a couple kids. There was 2 or 3 big kids out there that were O-linemen and fans of Nick and I, and they just asked us a bunch of questions about O-line and said, "Oh, my dad's a big guy. My dad's your size. What do you think I should do?" And I'm like, "Oh man, well you'll be good then." That's pretty important.
I'm like thinking, wait a minute, your dad's like 6'5", really?
Yeah, that you can't teach that, so they got it.
No, you can't. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. All right, let's start here because I got to figure this out. You and I were kind of talking about it a little bit a couple weeks ago when we were hanging out. So you're born in Plano, Texas, right?
Correct. Yep.
4-star recruit. You play college ball at Texas Tech. Is your family all Cowboy fans?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So I mean, we grew up Cowboys fans, I would say. Yeah, I didn't go to like a game or anything. It wasn't like a big like Cowboys family. It was more of just like we love football, and like my grandpa is a Cowboys fan growing up and like that type of thing. So it kind of got passed down, but it wasn't like a die-hard thing that was like crazy when I was playing for the Giants that everybody was like, "Oh no." So it wasn't a big deal. So
okay. I'm just trying to figure it out because probably, because then like the Texans come in the 90s, right? So I was wondering if somebody defected over to the Texans.
No, I think Cowboys are all the people from Dallas are definitely staying with the Cowboys, I'm thinking.
All right, fair enough. All right. And then you get drafted 7th round by the Bills. And what's so interesting about this is like, what's it like? We always ask, interviewing all you guys and all your teammates, what's it like on the draft day? Is it one of those things where you went out bowling or fishing or something crazy? Or were you like glued in and locked into what was going on? Because the process seems pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, I think everyone has like a different way that they handled it depending on when they're projected and that type of thing. I mean, my agent was telling me, like, the draft's crazy. I had teams saying like, "Oh, you won't slip to the 5th. Like if you're in the 5th, we'll take you." And then obviously I fell to the 7th. So like, I don't know. The draft's just kind of crazy. And because of that, I thought I'd be a mid-round pick, like day 3, beginning of day 3, somewhere on day 3. So when day 3 came around, I did have some family over that day, and it was just tough because I had to wait till the 7th round. So it was a little humbling, I guess. Obviously, I'm blessed and so thankful, and everything's worked out great for me. But I mean, yeah, everybody wants to hear their name the beginning, as soon as possible. So it's definitely a tough experience, especially having people there around. It's like, all right, like when's it gonna happen? And then when it happens, it's great. But yeah, it's definitely a stressful day.
Yeah, because I know I've read stories where guys were like, "Yeah, I go where I go," and they go hunting or they go fishing or something, and then some guys are like locked in, and then we've interviewed guys that thought, like you said, they were going in the third round and they didn't go in the third round or the fourth round, and they just got so mad they left and went out.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like a waiting game, but it's kind of crazy because you're waiting to hear where you're gonna go spend a lot of time and move and meet people. It's just a crazy a day or a couple days, if you will.
And the Bills, Chris, right? The Bills take him in the 7th round.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have any idea that it was the Bills? Like, had you had conversations with them?
Yeah, I went to the Senior Bowl, and they had like a thing where you meet with every team, 30 teams at least. Like maybe like 1 or 2 teams didn't have like a setup that night, but it was like a thing where it was like a huge building that was part of the hotel, and each team had like a little station. So you would literally for 4 or 5 hours straight, just like 10 minutes with each team, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Like it was crazy. Yeah, so I had like interview. It was 2 nights that I was there, and I did meet with Buffalo there. Got a little bit familiar. They got me on the board and had me do some pretty intricate stuff, so I kind of felt like decent about it. But yeah, I didn't really hear much more other than that.
Go ahead, Chris, jump in.
Yeah. So Jack, thanks for coming on the show, and it was great, meeting you a few weeks back. Jack, when you were with Buffalo and you did get drafted, obviously it was Brian Daboll was there, right, as the coordinator. And Bobby Johnson was the offensive line coach. When you came to the Giants, like, that must have been a breath of fresh air to know these guys, especially Bobby Johnson being the O-line coach, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I got drafted, Bobby was the first one. Like, I talked to Brandon Beane, the GM, and then I talked to Bobby right after. And, like, me and Bobby were just started talking then and got a great rapport going. And, yeah, I love Bobby's. Gets the best out of me, coaches me hard and fair, and just like I love the way he kind of handles business with all of us. But yeah, that was a weird thing. Not a weird thing. I kind of had an idea like it was just a weird situation with me in Philly because I felt like very confident that I was going to make the team there, and then I had a spot. And then when that didn't happen, it was just like a thing where it did make sense. Like my agent was kind of telling me like, hey, I know they like you over there type situation. So it's just a thing where you kind of wait on that call again to get claimed back here. But yeah, I think when I found out I was coming here, I wasn't surprised, and I was really happy because, I love those guys.
That's right. And we know Bobby Johnson likes those nicknames. I don't remember, but did you get a nickname when you arrived to the Giants? Do we have one for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just like a bunch. I don't know. One that comes to mind today, they always just joke around about it because I came in late, got in at 10:30. My flight it's just like crazy stuff like that. So if something happens like that to me, they'll be like, oh, Slapjack. Like, oh.
I feel like with the name Jack, you probably get a lot of different.
Yeah, that's a good one to rhyme with. Yeah, that's
right?
awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, Jack. All right.
Oh, here comes Slapjack. Like,
very cool. All right.
Yeah, Bobby, he sounds like he's a fun guy too.
Oh yeah, he's super funny. I mean, great sense of humor. I think he gets along really well with our room, and he has daughters that are both, similar age to the younger guys in the room. So I think he understands like how to communicate and the culture and that type of thing. Like he just jives with us really well.
Very cool. Go ahead, Nikki, jump in.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on the Eagles, right? So, I mean, we are happy that you're with the Giants because, as you know, there's no love lost between Giants fans and Eagles fans. But I assume as a player, right, you're just kind of like happy that a team, wants you and you get a chance to play. Or do you have that little bit of a feeling that's like, man, I really just didn't want to go there? Or does that not factor into your thought process at all?
No, yeah, I don't think that factors in.
No, just go.
Once you get a really good job offer, you're not gonna like be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. I mean, obviously it's far away from home and it's a state that I'm like, yeah, but it was good that it was close to Philly. Like the way it worked out was great. I literally got to drive from Philadelphia to East Rutherford and get in the facility like an hour after I got claimed and talk to everybody. So it was perfect.
So nice.
An hour later?
Better facility. Yeah, it came to the better team.
Yeah, they called me and they were like, hey, here's your onboarding packet and how fast you get here. And I was like, oh, I got my car outside. I'll be there. It's an hour and a half or an hour. And like, all right, see you then.
No, wait. So you're telling me you get cut,
Wow.
you're walking out of the Lincoln Financial Field there, and you literally get a call and you just cruise up the turnpike?
No, it's the next day. So like the cuts are like the 31st, and then like the day where they do all the claims is the next morning. So it's like 4 p.m. is the deadline. And Howie Roseman, yeah, like it was like a late thing. He did it like 3 p.m. So then by the time 5 o'clock came around, I was at home talking with my agent, like in the hotel, like what am I gonna do? What's happening here? And talking with my family. This could happen. This could happen. And then the next day, everything's solidified by noon. All the waivers, errors, everything. So like at noon they told me, and then by like 1:32 I was in the area, ready to go. Yeah, packed up.
Wow.
Fast. Yeah.
That
Life
really
happens fast.
That's more than fast. I mean, that's like you don't even have time to grieve, right? You're like, hey, onwards and upwards, right?
No, you definitely don't. And then like week 1, I was active here and playing, and yeah, it was just something where I came in and had a spot for me. I mean, yeah, it was just great how it all worked out. Love it here.
All right, so here's the big question, Jack. So when you were with the Eagles in 2021, you had 43 snaps at center, 31 at right guard. When the Giants pick you up, and of course Dabes knows you, GM Joe, Shane knows you. What's the conversation like? Last year compared to this year? Like, is there talk again? Like I'm looking at, what's that? 40. That's 71 snaps between guard and center. So you've already snapped at the pro level. I've already watched some of the tape. Kudos to you. You're a good lineman in space. You got good footwork. You can pull. I've watched you pull, right? You get out quick on the perimeter. So you got good footwork. And so A, like, do you have a preference of center or guard? And 2, like, what's the conversation like going in this year? Because it sounds like you're going to get a chance to snap.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's funny. I'm glad you pointed that out because I had 30-something snaps at center in like a real Week 18 game, Eagles versus Cowboys. Like everyone acts like I've never played center before. Like, oh, like yeah, I don't understand that. Like I've played in a good game, big game at center, and then also in preseason I played a ton of center for the Eagles last preseason. Like I probably had 75 snaps at center in preseason.
Wow.
I played.
Now, is that because like Kelsey's banged up, or is that like just giving him a break?
No, it was just preseason, so Kelsey wasn't even really playing. Like he dressed up for one of the like 3 preseason games. Like they rest a lot of the older veterans there, so I got a lot of playing time at center preseason there, and I think I think they look at that. And I mean, I played center with Buffalo right when I got to Buffalo. Bobby was making me take snaps at center, and I feel really comfortable there. And yeah, I like it a lot there. Like Nick will always tell me, like, this is like a Nick Gates quote right here. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'm an average guard, but I'm a good center. I can be a real good center. And that's like how I feel. Like I feel like I can play guard well and I can do what I need to do. But I think like center, I can really I think I could be real good there. I mean, whatever it's going to be, I start at right guard, left guard. I feel confident at all 3, but center's like a position where physically I feel really good, like in that position.
Okay. Wow. How about the conversation with the folks there in East Rutherford? Are they like, hey Jack, break out the snapping jersey? Like, are they already embracing the fact that they want you to snap, or it hasn't been discussed?
Yeah, I mean, not like a whole lot of discussion. I think it's like a thing where they've want me to snap always. So, it's like one of those things where last offseason I was snapping. When I got drafted by Buffalo, Bobby was telling me to snap. So, I mean, I just feel comfortable there. And like I played scout team center all last year against Dex. Like every day at practice, it was me against Dex at center. So while the starters were getting all their reps. So yeah, I mean, I feel really good there. And that's something they want me to keep getting better at. But I mean, they haven't, everything in the NFL is a little, it's a business. So I understand how it works.
So you had to go against Dex in practice every day?
Oh yeah, I got a lot better last year playing against him. He's a beast.
Yeah, I was watching. Nick, did you see that video of him and Leo today pulling the sled?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Those are two
Yes, beast is
strong,
right.
heavy men. Yeah, those are guys that you don't want to deal with.
That'll
for
make you
sure.
better,
And I
right?
was laughing because I'm laughing because they're both barefoot. It's snowing outside, and they're pulling the sled on this crazy maneuver like I've never seen done before. And I'm like, you know what? They say it works for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are they doing?
Proof's in the pudding. There's some big, strong men. So yeah, I know they got it. And I like the barefoot workout thing. I do that a lot too. I think that's good. It's good for your feet. Like we wear shoes so often, those cleats are really bad for your feet. And I like to work out and just my toes out sometimes too. I think it's good for your feet. So I don't blame them on that.
All right, that's cool. You see, you learn something new every day. Go ahead, Chris. I know
Yeah.
you got something.
No, I was just thinking, Jack, as you were talking, what a better way. You worked out with Kelsey, right? You on the line. I'm sure you got some good tips from him, and then going up against Dex. But I wanted to ask you about Nick. I mean, your relationship. We saw you guys hanging out. You seemed pretty tight at the camp a few weeks ago. So, did you know Nick prior to coming to the Giants? Did you guys cross paths at all?
No, not really. I mean, obviously, I knew about his injury and his past, and like an undrafted guy playing that much is pretty unheard of. And like, I loved his game, just kind of nasty, just try hard, try to hurt somebody out there type guy. And like, I love his energy, and I've always like known that. So when I got here, it was a thing where we had a mutual respect, and I think he kind of had seen me play a little bit too. But yeah, he was hurt right when I got here, so it was like a different situation where he was rehabbing and not yet practicing. So I think once he started playing, we got like a lot closer because he was out there practicing with me every day, and we were working on stuff together, and we were kind of learning together because I was new here and he was just getting back out there.
That's great.
Yeah, you two do look like two peas in a pod, man.
Yeah.
I was watching you guys run around with the kids. I'm like, these guys look like they've known each other their whole lives.
I was
These
going
two.
to say that exactly. Yeah, for sure.
And we've gotten close for sure. I love that guy.
Yeah, we're sad to see him go. All right, so this is more of a little bit of a technical side for folks that have never played football or even like played line before. Like, so the line itself, you know how it is. You go through a lot of injuries. It becomes a lot of moving parts. How hard is it to play, let's say, guard when you've got 3 different right tackles and 2 different centers playing? Like, just give me an idea of like how difficult. Like, I know you got to gel and the symmetry between the lines important, but like, I don't know, give me an idea of what it's like to like have success, or how hard is it to have success when you're constantly shuffling guys in and out because of injury?
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of teams really struggle with in the NFL is like cohesiveness and just like having one group out there that can play really well together. But I mean, I think something that we do really well here is like what I was saying is that like Bobby, Dabes, they make us play everywhere. Like you're not gonna. I don't remember one day during the season where I would just play right guard or just play center or just play left guard. Like I was playing all 3. Like, hey, come get this rep at right guard, left guard, center, and like that helps to have guys like myself, guys like Nick that can start at center, can start at guard last year, for example. And I think that helps the cohesion. Is like, okay, I've trusted this guy, played next to him at guard, now he's at center, familiar face, voice, we all feel comfortable with him. I think that's something that helps a lot, is just having guys that can do it all.
Because otherwise I'd have to imagine it being difficult to get anything done, right? When you're like, if you're one of these organizations where you do just play left guard and then you got to plug and play someone else that's not used to being there, right? It's got to be tough to actually get the ball up the field.
Yeah, no, that's a hard thing that a lot of teams struggle with. But unless you're a Lane Johnson or one of those guys, you're going to be playing more than one position. So I think that's something that a lot of the guys in the NFL have become accustomed to, is that they're going to have to, if you're not starting every game, you're going to be a swing guy. You're going to have to play all 3. You're going to have to, do anything to get a jersey on game day, and that takes position flexibility.
Yeah, because I was, Chris, you and I were talking about Glowinski. See, I was a big fan of Glowinski because I watched him block the snot out of people, for what do you call it? Why I always draw a blank on the running back for the Colts.
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
I always on my blank every time I think about it. I mean, he did a great job, and then he came here, and I guess I thought he had a nice year, but people, the analysts are all over him about his production. I'm like, well, he played with 2 different right tackles. He played with 2 different centers. there's got to be a little bit of a curve, right, Jack, on like getting comfortable with who's on the left and right side of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big deal. Is playing with the same guy next to you. But I mean, it's just a part where everyone's got to do their piece. And I know some days Evan would be, doing something, and then some day Glow, like we just need to put it all together. Some days I would be messing things up. Like everyone just has a part in it, and like everyone has their piece of helping out all five and whatever that is. Just got to do that. So yeah, I think personally Glow's a beast, and I love watching Glow, and I take a lot from his game, and he's so strong. His balance is crazy. He's just a lot of things that I think Glow is elite at. So I mean, yeah, that's someone that I like to watch as well.
No, I love it. I'm glad you said that too, because again, like Chris will tell you, I've been sticking up for this guy. In fact,
you called it, Craig, last year when he was a free agent.
Yeah, as soon as he became a free agent in January, it was like pinned to the top of my Twitter account. The Giants should sign, Glowinski, and people be like, "Why?" I'm like, "Look what he's doing, with nothing at Indianapolis." I'm like, this guy can move bodies. This is a good signing for the Giants, and so I was happy to see that happen. Go ahead, Nikki. I know you got a question. Jump in.
Yeah. So, Jack, with you coming back, right, that's adding more experience and depth for the team. So, how can you personally elevate your game? How can you make the guys around you even better this season? Is it like you were alluding to, learning from each other, learning from each other's mistakes, what you guys are doing well, what you're not doing well? Like, how can you personally elevate your game and help the guys around you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say personally elevate my game. Like there's just things that I think of, balance, like just things that every lineman thinks of: feet, balance, hands, core. That's something I've really been focusing on this offseason, is my core and body control, and just really becoming one. I've been doing a lot of yoga and things like that. Like I'm just really trying to become one with my body and my balance and all that thing. And then I think everybody has their own little thing that they're working on, and then you put them all on the field. Everyone has 3 months of, I need to work on this. Let's strengthen this. This is something I need to work on. Stance here. This, I struggle at this in this part of the game. Like you work on those things, and everyone comes back, and in camp, OTAs, you can kind of just see it come to work. And yeah, I think everyone has their piece, but it all comes together.
So I'm a big yogi. I do yoga all the time. Do you find that, and I find that it just helps me in so many different aspects and even different workouts. Do you find that it helps you in your game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the mental aspect of it is big. Like I love the whole mental aspect, and just relaxing is something that I struggle with, especially during the football season. So I'm gonna really work on that this season. But yeah, I think the core stability, glute strengthening, just like all those things that I need at my position, like yoga is really good at. So yeah, I've been loving it.
Like the mind-body connection, right? Being able to connect like mind-body. I struggle with the meditation though. I can't, I still struggle with that, but working on it.
No, I get it.
How about trash talk? You always see defensive linemen talking trash, right? Especially some of them are mic'd up, or you watch Dexter, he's all mic'd up, and he's funny too, right?
Yeah.
Do O linemen talk any trash, or do O linemen usually pretty quiet, business as usual?
Well, I mean, there's a couple guys that I would say talk some trash, but you got to think about it like this. This is how I think about it. We play, if there's a 17-play drive, we're out there 17 plays in a row. And the D linemen rotate every 3, 2. You know what I'm saying? So of course they're out there feeling fresh. They can say something, but I mean, Nick Gates, we talked about him, that he likes to talk a little bit. So that's someone that I think he comes to mind first off, playing with him last year. He likes to say his little piece, but normally guys are too tired out there.
I love it. You're just like, I'd like to talk some shit, but I'm just too tired right now.
Yeah, I'm gasping for air. It's hard.
Go ahead, Chris, jump in.
Yeah, this might be a little off the wall question, Jack, but let me ask you, as a lineman, would you rather run the ball down their throats right off the bat, or would you rather be in that 2-minute offense, up tempo, come down the field and get 6? You had a choice.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know. It depends on who we're playing. I'd say like a team, what their strength is. I personally like to get a little outside zone going, then get a little naked, play action, kind of make them feel like, I don't know, I just like to change it up. I don't like to just say, oh, we're going to run the ball 5 times right now, because then they know I like to set up the run with the pass or vice versa and just kind of get teams thinking. And Dave's is great with that. So
yeah. And the league's changed, right, Jack? It used to be, run the ball to set up the pass. Now it seems like it's the other way around. It's the short passing game to set up the run. So it's kind of changed a little bit.
Exactly right. All the motions, all the zone, O-line's going one way, the quarterback's going a different way, different, jet motion sweeps. Oh, there's so much for defenses to think about. Yeah.
All right, so I want everyone to know that I'm giving away some tickets to the Isaiah Hodgins camp, which is this Saturday, 4 to 8. If you folks want to make some memories with your kids, it's youth football players, 8 to 12. We're at Rumson High School. We're going to stream live from there. It's going to be Isaiah Hodgins, which, of course, everybody knows, superstar wide receiver for the Giants. I'm looking for some good questions. I see there's a ton of you in here. I see Darius. I see Chad and Peter and Allie and Danny. I see it. I mean, there's a ton of you guys in here. If I miss anybody, Jay, I see you. I see Kevin Mack. I see a bunch of you guys in here. Whoever wants to go, if any of you want to go to I see you, Mark. Isaiah Hodgins camp this week. I'm giving away a couple pairs of tickets. Best question of the night will win a pair. And again, like, it is not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 hours. Where do you get to hang out with an NFL player for 4 hours? Jack just did it with his buddy Nick. They just did it in Manalapan. Now we're going to do Isaiah Hodgins, which we all know and love. We interviewed him too. Great dude. He's got a great career in front of him. So if anybody wants to go, just drop a question in the chat, because I see all you guys in there chatting away about Jack doing yoga and you love yoga. I see tons of stuff about. By the way, Jack, they're all about you taking yoga. It sparked an enormous conversation over here.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. So I got to ask this one. I think Tuto is bringing this one around again. It's making me think that Tuto's got an inside track. I'm wondering if. So it's interesting, Tuto. All right. How does Tuto know the question that I'm about to ask?
I
think somebody's leaking info to Tuto.
Maybe.
I'm thinking. I think so. We had Jack. We got a fan of our of the show. He's from Italy and he's a rugby player, but we can't quite figure out who he is because he's only on the YouTube channel. And I'm about to ask you a question that he's already asking, and I'm thinking there's a leak somewhere. So we're gonna have to explore that. All right. The question is about numbers. I'm a big number guy. Like, why you wear a number? Maybe you wanted a number. I always tell the story about Carl Banks. Carl Banks is like one of the best linebackers to ever play, for the Giants. He's also now in the broadcast booth with Bob Papa. We've always been pretty friendly with Carl. Carl always tells the story how he drafted from Michigan State, and he wore number 54. And when he got to the facility, the other outside linebacker, Andy Hedden, was there, who wore 54. And he said, yo, homeboy, you want 54? $30K and it's yours. And he had just walked in the door and he was like, $30K? He's like, I haven't even gotten paid yet. He's like, how about, the equipment manager, you reach in the bag and you give me a number, equipment manager reaches in the bag, throws him a jersey. He's 58 for the next, 10 years. You got a slew of numbers that you've worn through your career. Any significance to any of them? Because you've worn 60s, 50s, 70s. Any significance to any of the numbers?
Yeah, I wish I had a better story for you. I mean, I picked 56 in college. I really like 56. Obviously, that'll never happen for me here, so I'm cool with that. So that was my go-to. I like the 50s numbers, but I'm cool with 77. I think it looks good, and I like the 7s. I'm cool with it. It fits the jersey nice. It looks real symmetrical. I'm good with it. So no, I don't have a cool story or anything, but it was just given to me when I got here.
I like the 77s. My son wore 77. My son always wears high numbers in lacrosse. My son's he plays football too. He's a quarterback, but on lacrosse he wears all high numbers. And his last team he wore 77. It does look. The 7s look good, man. Unless you're getting yelled at for something, you're in trouble. It's easy to spot the 7s too.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, very cool. All right. Okay, Nick, you got anything else? You got a backup question? Because I'm gonna play speed round with him, and then I'm gonna let him go rest up for tomorrow's practice.
Yeah,
So go
I
ahead.
just want one last one for me. What is it like to play for Coach Brian Daboll, or what do you appreciate the most about his style of coaching?
Ooh, what I appreciate most, I would just say his passion. I mean, he just loves the game so much, and he wants to win so bad, and like we got that in common. And like he's just a super serious person when it comes to ball, and like I think everyone really respects him for that. And then obviously his football knowledge, like that kind of goes unsaid because he's a head coach in the NFL, and you got to be so smart to be a head coach in the NFL. But he really understands X's and O's, offense and defense, coverages, O line. Like he really understands O line play, and like I think that's something that the O line respects about him is that when he comes in and says something to us, you can know like this comes from a spot. Like he's coached this, he's been around this, he knows what is good and what's bad.
Nice. Go ahead, Chris. You got one last one?
No, I'm good.
Oh, wow. All right.
Go to the speed round.
All right, so I'm gonna play a little speed round with you, Jack. It's 10 questions. They're all relatively easy. It's got a nice chance. It gives the fans a chance to get to know you better a little bit. No nothing too hard. And also, by the way, you should DM me your address so I can send you a hoodie. I had Nick got that Rush one, and then I gave Shaft one too. But I think you're probably the same size as Nick, so I'll get you one and send it out to your crib. Just hit me up with your address.
Sweet.
All right, ready? All right, speed round. First question: Tony Romo or Dak Prescott?
Tony Romo. That's when I was a Cowboys fan. So.
All right, ready? Pizza, wings, or burgers? Which one?
Ooh, if we're going wings, like a really good wing is better than all three, I'd say. Because I was in Buffalo and the wings out there are crazy good.
Oh,
wait, I have to interject here. Hold on, Jack. Okay, wings.
I know what you're gonna.
We had this argument on my show on Wednesday night. It was this debate about, do you dip your wings in anything, and if you do, is it blue cheese, ranch, or something else? So, do you dip your wings in any sauce or?
Yeah, I know the people in Buffalo are like crazy about the blue cheese, but I like ranch personally. So.
No, Jack. Do you put ranch on your pizza too?
I like ranch with my pizza too. Yeah. A good ranch. Ranch can be bad though. Like there's some really, really, really good ranch out there at some restaurants. So I don't know. I'm not big on like the blue cheese sour kind of taste. No. So.
Right. I did not expect him to say that.
Yeah, I didn't think you put ranch on pizza.
Ranch it's the official sauce of Texas. Of course, he likes ranch.
I guess so. Yeah. Everybody I meet is either like, South or West
that's why
Coast
Chris is here. Exactly.
Did I get that one right, Jack? I don't know. Is it really the official sauce of Texas? It sounds good.
It's not the official, but it's definitely out there a lot more than I hear. It's like,
usually on the bottle they show a fence with some horses, so got that whole Texas feel to it.
Yeah, everywhere you go, you can get ranch. Yeah,
it's the semi-official.
That's right.
It's not the official.
That's right. Jack will make it official.
Turf or grass?
Grass all day.
All right. Do you have a long sleeve shirt on or a short sleeve shirt on right now?
Short.
All right. So you got two, right? You got two pretty much sleeves, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the question. One tattoo you might regret or would erase. Which one would it be? And can you show it?
Ooh. I think. It's probably going to be on my leg. I have a million tattoos on my leg, but I'll just give you this one. Maybe this ghost is kind of a little crazy right there.
Wow. So you would erase that one if you could?
No, not if I don't. But it's a loaded question because I love all my tattoos. I was just thinking like, what is not super significant? I guess I don't know. I love all my tattoos.
That's
because sometimes you get one, it doesn't come out the way you want it to, or maybe you not outgrow it, but you just like
Yeah, I think I'm at the stage now where I love how my tattoos like look on the football field, and like if they're not the most perfect thing in the world or whatever, like what you said. It's just a part of my story, and I like to think like, oh, this was a time and place where I wanted this, and here it is. So I think
you're gonna get more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. All right, I just had to ask because I know, like I said, like there's always sometimes there's one that's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I would have it inked over or maybe changed. I didn't know if you had one that maybe you weren't 100% satisfied with.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right, fair enough. Rock on. You heard that here. All right, Marvel or DC?
DC all day.
Damn, I didn't expect
Didn't even
that either.
hesitate.
Oh, I'm a Batman
Yeah.
guy. I'm like the biggest Batman. I have a Heath Ledger Joker tattoo on my leg. Like I love.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, Dark Knight was my favorite movie of all time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dark Knight was
big.
very good.
All right, I will say I'm a Marvel guy, but I'm a huge Batman fan too, so that's pretty cool. Heath
Yeah.
Ledger was an awesome Joker.
Amazing.
I'm assuming you've seen the movie The Joker.
Yep.
There's the second one's coming out soon.
Oh, is it really? Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah. If I have the trailer, I'll send it to you. I have an app that gives you movie trailers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll hit you. All right. This one, Chris already stole my thunder on. Block. Would you rather block for the winning score or pancake the team's best pass rusher?
I would say the score probably. I mean, I want to win, so
Okay.
The other one doesn't include winning, so yeah.
All right, fair enough. Cowboy boots or cowboy hats?
Neither.
Oh,
All right.
all right, good.
Okay.
I'm not Texas in that way. I don't want
Texas in that one.
Again, I had to ask, right? Because you're born there, so it's it's a bad stigma, but I had to ask,
Only
Okay.
Texas in a ranch way, not in
not in a
hat
blue
or
cheese
boots
way.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's so funny. And the slapjack thing. I'm gonna think about this whole interview. The two things I got out of this was ranch and his nickname was slapjack. I'm like,
Yep.
all right, college team or field you hated to play on the most?
Well, I didn't like playing in Iowa at Iowa State. Like the grass is super long and muddy and slippery, and like I don't know how that is a field that people are allowed to play on. Like the first play of the game, I ran a naked where I was running left, like outside zone, and I busted my ass so bad. And like the first play of the film my senior year, like the grass is horrible. So that's the one. Yeah.
Is the fans have anything to do with it too? Is it loud? Is there?
Yeah, that's pretty loud, and it's in Iowa. So.
It's funny. Yeah, but Nikki, guess what? Barkley said the same thing.
I know. I feel like we hear that a lot when you ask. Yeah, we hear that often.
I mean, not that I've interviewed Saquon Barkley, but I've heard him say it that the hardest place to play is in Iowa. That's crazy. All right. That's your boy Dane Belton. All right. Last two. And again, Chris, you stole all my thunder today. Dude.
I didn't even look at the speed run. I try not to.
I know, exactly. You're killing me. All
Sorry,
right,
Craig, do you have a backup?
Recovery, ice tub, sauna, or massage? Which one?
Massage, and then I like the tubs, but hot tub more than the cold. The cold's pretty painful. I like to sit in that hot tub for a little bit.
All right. Do they have hot tubs at the facilities? They're not just cold tubs, there's hot tubs too?
Yeah, they got both. Yeah.
All right, last one. Favorite thing about the New York area since you've been here? What's the number one thing where you're like, I freaking love this?
Shopping is number one, I would say.
Oh,
Shopping.
all right.
Dude, I gotta tell you,
Yes.
he's great. He's got great answers.
Yeah.
I was for sure, because he's an enormous man, that he would say food. The shopping is awesome.
That was number two. The food in the city is amazing, but like I've shopped in Miami, Dallas, Vegas, like been everywhere, and like New York City's just got everything, every store, everything you need. They got it. So yeah.
Well, speaking of food, everybody's asking, what is your favorite post-game meal? So I want to make sure we ask you that before we let you go.
Favorite.
Oh, wait, is that a good enough question to hand a pair of tickets?
Well,
out
everybody's asking, so I just want to make sure we get some fan questions in.
Ooh, favorite post-game meal.
Yeah.
In Texas, in high school, it would be the Whataburger. I don't know if y'all have ever had Whataburger before. But It's like a restaurant in Texas where everyone goes after the high school games, and it's like a burger restaurant. But here, I don't know. I haven't had anything like that. There's nothing that really comes to mind. After games, I'm typically not very hungry. Just like the adrenaline rush coming down. Like I don't really feel like I'm always just kind of, not super starved after a game, but I don't know. I like pizza a lot. It's like a guilty thing for me. Is like after a game, I have a pizza.
Okay.
All right. And, last one for me is, and that was a great speed run. I learned a lot. How about tradition? And I'll leave you and I'll let you go because I know you don't want to hang out with us all night. How about traditions or things that you need to do, like superstitions, anything that you do before a game. And the only reason I'm going to tell you was that Chris Snee, who's like one of the best linemen the Giants have ever had, played right guard, Coughlin's son-in-law, believe it or not, Boston College. He used to throw up before every game. He used to have an intern hold the bucket for him on the sideline. He'd run out, do the coin toss, come back, and then throw up in a bucket on the sideline. Do you have any like traditions or superstitions that you do?
I wouldn't say it's like a superstition or like anything like that, but I mean, I've seen the throw up guys. Every team has one or two of the throw up guy, and then I get like the nervous pees. Like I need to pee, like right before I go out, like I feel like I need to pee, but I don't really. So I just like kind of try. Like I get like a nervous, and maybe that's my thing.
That's what when I get nervous.
Well
That's what
been there.
you think you have to pee all the time and you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also not 6'5",
No.
6'6", you know.
But I get
Right.
it. Everybody's nerves come out in a different way. I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us. It was actually, you know, I know it was a couple weeks coming. I was hammering you a little bit, so thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes.
So, people, as I told you, it's another episode of Giants Rush. You can get it on Spotify, Apple Pods, anywhere. How about Jack? Anything to promote? You want us? Anything you got coming up? You want to promote at all, or put anything? You know, events, charity, anything coming up?
No, I think I did my event of the off season, got out there with those kids. So I mean, yeah, I would have
Awesome.
got that, but I'm good for now.
All right, well, guys, make sure you're paying attention to number 77. He's back in town. Giants are back in town for their off season, or I should say, probably like I don't know, what do we even call this time of year?
Phase 1, I don't know.
Yeah, all right, let's go with phase 1.
Yeah,
That works for me. Phase 1 of the Giants return to the playoffs started today. That is Jack Anderson. This is another episode of Giants Rush. Hodgins Camp, Saturday, 4 to 8. Tickets still available. Go check out Amped, Nick and his company, or Shaft. For you folks, go to Amped, check them out, follow them. Make sure you subscribe to the Giants Rush YouTube channel. And then you can get all of Jack's teammates that we've interviewed, like Belton and Bellinger and Hodgins and Gates, and all those guys are there. And it's good to hang out with you guys. Tonight's a quick, easy one. We're in and out. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Guys.
Thanks, Jack. Oh, we're still live. And I wanted to ask you guys, if what are we going to do before I end the broadcast? What are we going to do at the Hodgins camp? We're going to draft the best wide receivers, pass catchers in Giants history. Same thing we did last time with O-line, but we're going to do pass catchers, tight ends, slots, X receivers, Y receivers, Z spread out. Everybody's going to get maybe 4 or 5 guys. I'll create the list and we'll have we'll have a little fun with that. Guys, Nikki, what are you giving away on Wednesday?
I'm giving away camp tickets, Isaiah Hodgins. So make sure you guys tune in to Rush Hour Wednesday at 7:00.
Yes, people, what you're not doing anything at 7:00 on Wednesdays. Sports gambling, fantasy football. We're having not 1, not 2, but 3 leagues. Okay. There's the baller league for everybody who wants to pay. Then there's the rookie league for, hey, you're just new at this. You want to try it out. Okay. Then they're going to have an all ladies league.
Yes.
How cool is that? It's like basically Charlie's Angels league, right? It's like, it's like all the ladies. So we've got 3 leagues coming up. Make sure you DM, 6 over here and find out what the parameters are and when to get in. Ask her some questions. You learn about that. Of course, we're going to be streaming live from Hodgins Camp, Rumson, New Jersey, Rumson High School. We'll be out there giving away stuff and streaming live.
Cold
and
so
what's that, Nick?
Cold. I just think he's funny. Look at his last comment. He's funny.
He's always funny. Looking forward to Rush Hour. No Craig on that show. Oh.
He just loves to give you a hard time, and I think it's funny.
I still love Cold. He's my guy. I don't care. I got thick skin, Cold. You know I love you. So anyway, again, we really support you guys. Appreciate you guys supporting us. Please stop in and see Nikki, even for 15 minutes, to stop in and say hello, see what she's up to. You're gonna be giving away tickets. Best question tonight. DM me if you want the tickets. I know you guys are asking questions, but I know sometimes you guys can't go. So if you want a pair of tickets to go to the Hodgins camp, this, maybe it's a friend of yours, maybe it's a boss, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a cousin. If you want to go, send me a DM because you guys have a bunch of good questions on here, but I don't know if you guys can actually go. Grandier, I see it. Thanks for popping in. So if you want tickets to the Hodgins camp, he'll be there on site. Let us know. That's Chris. That's Nikki. I'm King Rush, and we are out.
Bye, guys.